Hello there. Now, I know it's been a while since I did one of these. John took me unexpectedly longer than I thought. Not too long, but because I had an XP boost and stuff. Which, yes, shoot me in the comments for that if you want. Just know I did not buy the XP boost myself. It was given to me by a friend. So, like, I can't really do much about that. Anyways, on to the video. Here we have milestone for John Doe, as you can see. I don't really know what to say in this video. I'll start off by saying that this video, I don't know, it doesn't have to be better than my Cool Kid and Jason guide, but as for my 1x, I don't know if it'll surpass that. John Doe is the hardest killer in the game. That is not even a debate. Everybody in the community agrees with that. Maybe not everybody, but the people who don't are just stupid. Because, like, dude, now that he has the same stun times as everybody else, it is, like, actually horrible to play this dude sometimes. Because he will just get you. At this point, he's just a play-to-lose character. If you don't know how to use him. So, like, yeah, I don't really like that. They recently released a patch to fix all killer stun time, which I'll put on the screen, which did help a little bit with his stun time problem, but yeah, he's still, like, way worse than he should be right now. But yeah, I'm back. It's time for the John Doe guide, and I'm going to teach you how to play him. If you're wondering why I'm on Voss, it's because Voss is the worst map for John Doe, so I thought it would be pretty convenient if I put myself on Voss specifically. You know, just to make fun of the map. Although I did get a lot of wins on Voss. In fact, I don't think I had as much of a bad experience with Voss than most people did. It's just a genuinely bad map in general. The only character in this entire game that actually benefits from it is 1x. And because he's always charging at you and looking forward, nobody else is looking backwards or anything. Voss is just a terrible map. I don't know why it even exists. But yeah, that is kind of the reason why I'm here. Because it's John Doe's worst map, so I thought it'd be funny to do the intro on it. So, as per usual, we're going to go through, we're going to teach you how to use every move, how to use them, how to go about things. I also talked about his passive a little bit here. Even though his passive got nerfed in this update, or well, the previous update, the patch before Noli, when Friday the 13th came out. Yeah, that was pretty silly. But, yeah, his passive got nerfed, but I'll still explain how it works, even though it's basically useless now. And I don't know why even they didn't just remove it just finally remove it at this point, because, like, seriously, like, it's actually so useless now. Now, do I think John Doe is impossible to win with? No. In fact, I win a lot with him still. I still win a lot with him because it's simple. You just need to be better than your opponent. I know that sounds egotistical, but John is literally the most I could ever say about that, because he literally is a killer that's based off of outsmarting your opponent and trapping them. So, like, I really don't know what else to say about him. That's literally his entire design. So, like, I'm not being egotistical. That is literally how he was designed. So yeah, I'm going to teach you how to use him and how to go about him, and try to explain some things he struggles against. Mainly just any stun ever right now because of his stun time. But yeah, we'll go over everything, teach you how to play him, and hopefully you can become a pro with John Doe. Obviously, this is not going to make you instantly good. You only become good with John over time, because that's how the game works. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. This will probably be my last video for a while. At least until Noli comes out. I do plan to make my Q&A video. It is still being worked on, don't worry. I'm just getting art for the thumbnail, and then I will do that next. That'll be my next video. But as of Forsaken content, I don't think I will be uploading until the Noli update comes out. Just so we're clear about that, alright? I need to take a break. I've been posting on this game and playing this game way too frequently, I feel like. And now that I've maxed every killer, I want to take a break and just relax. So let's get into the video so we don't make the intro insanely long like last time. I'm so sorry. So first things first, let's talk about John Doe's passive. Or passives, because if you see what's following me, he does technically have 2 passives. Yeah, we won't really talk about that. I don't know why he has 2, but he does. So the first passive is called Unstoppable. You'll see it on the screen now. I'll put it on the screen. It is basically means, well, originally it meant anytime John got stunned, he would roar at you basically, and only take 2 seconds of stun time, and then you get speed after getting stunned. And for some reason, people complained about that. I want to be clear, I have not seen a single person ever complain about John Doe's passive in my life, but whatever, I guess. I guess it made his design a little bit less just, oh, there's no point stunning him, he'll just charge at you again. Even though that's literally his whole design. He's really slow. Even his speed doesn't do much. The only speed that actually helps him out a lot is his digital footprint, which that's only if you actually were the person who stepped in it. Sure, his footprint can help him kill other people, but if you know how to avoid his M1s, because reminder, he has the longest M1 startup in the entire game. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at how long it takes for the hitbox to actually appear. Like, I'm just getting mad at this point. The John Doe nerf has made a lot of people upset, me included. I just don't think it was justified at all, but whatever. Let's just get into the moves. Actually, first let's talk about the passives. So yeah, Unstoppable, yeah, I already mentioned that. The trail just damages you when you're near it. The trail will follow behind you. You can also do loops with it and just try to cut off areas. It's kind of helpful. It's mainly just annoying if you're in chase and you're getting constantly damaged by their trail. John Doe can literally damage you just by being near you, and I think that's one design problem I have with him, but other than that, I think everything about him is fine. So yeah, that's the only other thing I need to mention. Let's get into the actual moves now. So first, let's talk about Corrupt Energy. Corrupt Energy is the move that a lot of people say carries John, and I do agree in a lot of ways, but at the same time I don't because of footprint, but we'll get to that in a moment. Corrupt Energy, basically, let's go over what it does first. First, let me turn on no cooldowns just to make sure I don't make this before I take a very long time. As you can see, you go down, long wind up, and you have spikes. I don't know why it lagged really badly. Anyways, as I was saying, long wind up, spikes. Okay, seriously, what is going on? Alright, third time's the charm. Third time's the charm, right? As you can see, long wind up, spikes. What is Okay, I've decided I'm just gonna roll a clip instead because every single time I use my spikes, it lags me for some odd reason. As you can see, I don't know why it's doing that. My internet is horrible, so I'm just gonna play a clip on the screen now of what spikes actually do.
Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
Pretty scary, right? So, what are spikes used for? Well, 2 reasons. Either to snipe people, like you saw me do in the clip, or to trap people, which I'll put on the screen now.
This man is already dead. He just doesn't know it.
You can also combo spikes and footprint to make it even harder for him to escape. However, it's only really good in certain situations, and most of the time they will just avoid your footprint because I know that's a guaranteed death. A lot of good people will just try to weave you and wait for your spikes to go down, so don't waste footprint. Most of the time, put it in places where it's like less likely to be immediately seen and just avoided. I'll get to that in a moment. Spikes also give you a speed boost upon hitting them, which can be very helpful for catching up to people, as it makes them, I mean, technically slower than you, even though John is really slow still. It makes it easier to catch up, I guess. It helps a little bit, right? It helps a little bit. Not enough, but and not a lot, but hey, it's something, right? Spikes are also kind of weird sometimes and can go up or down things, which I'll show you here. As you see, they can go down it like with a staircase, and then you can also make them go up it like this. This is a bad map example, but you get my point. It's mainly good on Underground War, where you can use spikes and then it will go underground, even if you're near the ledge, and it's really good for catching people off guard. Yeah, the spikes are mainly just, like, there if you can't hit someone or you need to trap someone. They're not meant to always be used, and I don't use them that much, unless I know I can't catch someone. If anything, I use spikes as a way to gain speed by hitting someone else who's not paying attention and then just chasing the person I was already chasing. That's the way I use spikes. If you don't agree with it, then that's your opinion. I really don't care. Moving on. Next, we have digital footprint. Oh, digital footprint. The move that nobody seems to use for some reason, even though it's literally the best move in his entire kit. Use footprint! Okay, I might have gotten a little upset there. I apologize. But my point is, this black puddle, all my frames, this black puddle is not as useless as it looks. I promise you. On this map, this is a horrible example because this is the worst map possible for John. And the only places you can put them on this map is on generators. Because Voss is awful. So let's go on to a different map and show a few examples of where it's really good. Alright, now I'm going to be going over good footprint places for every single map. Just to encourage you to use footprint more, I'm going to be going over spots on every single map, okay? Let's start with Brandon Works. First off, right here. I promise you, it may not look like it does a lot, but this gets rid of one of the best loops in this entire map, around this entire walk area. It's a lot better than you think. Because not only does that walk off this part, but it means they have to take the long route this way, where you can then go this way, since you can walk through your footprint, and then you can trap them by doing something like this. If they turn that way, just turn and hit them with your spikes and chase them with the speed. Simple as that. Next we have, of course, the ones that everybody uses up on the top of the ramp. Everybody uses these on any map that has ramps because it's just good to have these here. I don't usually put them here. I only put one down usually because, and on this side specifically. You wanna know why I put it on this side specifically? I'll show you. So what you want to do is aim more to this area. It'll go under. It'll go over here, right? It'll go over, and then the rest of the spikes will blockade this area. Boom. They are trapped here. They have no other choice but to run back towards you or towards the footprint. The only other escape option is over here. Which, if you do the spikes correctly, they have to run literally right to you to get over here. It's overpowered. Abuse this, please. Another good spot might be over here, underneath the castle. Just for people that like to loop this area, I recommend putting it, like, somewhat around the corner. Kind of like right here, where it's, like, just out of view and in the open at the same time. This is mainly for people that like to loop underneath around the castle. You make it out of view, so typically you run and hug the wall, and obviously they're not going to hug the wall completely. They'll probably go out a little bit, and then they'll run right into it. Obviously, that's not the most ideal spot for footprints, but, you know, it might work. Just put them down. You never know. It might work. Moving on. Next up, we have Cool Carnival. This map is weird because there's only like a few. We'll go over them. First one right here. This completely blockades this area so they can't go up here at all. John, put the foot... Okay, my lag is so bad. Oh my god. So yeah, you put a footprint there. This area is now off limits. And I recommend putting it near the top of the stairs because they're less likely to see it instead of just putting it down at the bottom of the stairs. Then they'll just get in the way. Another good spot is through the doorways here. Because this is a really good looping spot. So, of course, just put it... I'd say, like, right in here. That way they can't walk around it, but they also... It's not straight in the doorway. That way they won't always see it. And they might try to loop it and run right into it. I recommend just trying to put them, like, slightly away from the door. But far enough away that they can't see it from a distance. I see I'm doing a kind of poor job at it, but you get the point. Another semi-decent one is this one right here. I don't use this one too much, but it can be helpful putting this here, and then if you find someone up here, you can just simply blockade that area entirely and force them to have to come to you. As I said, John Doe's a killer that's outsmarting people. You need to remember, you need to know how to use your moves correctly. Anyways, that's about it for Cool Carnival. There's not a lot on this map I can go over. So, yeah, let's go on to the next one. Next up, we have my personal favorite map to play John Doe with. Get off the pillar. Glass houses. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I find this map really fun to play John Doe on. and I'll show you why. First footprint placement. This is arguably one of the best footprint places in the entire game. It looks dumb, but I promise you, the amount of times I've hit this footprint on people with even 10 plus days, it's ridiculous. This is one of the best footprint places in the entire map. See, people when they go up here will always hug this wall to get up here as fast as possible and do that. However, what you do is you don't put it right against the wall, because if you do that, they'll see it through the wall. What you do is you put it a little bit to the right. That way it's still against the wall, but it's not visible. Just like that. Then when they go to run up here, they'll hug the wall instinctively and run right into it. And the thing about it is it gets so little time to react, because even if you react to it, you're like, oh, and then you need to constantly, then you have to go that way, and then you can't even go this way because of the footprint in the hitbox. Which forces them to go down this way to a drop, which, as you know, they're affected by it. We aren't. Therefore, that's just slowing them down and making us catch them easier. So yeah, that is one of the best footprint places in the entire game. Let's move on to some other ones just in case, even though that's probably the main one they're going to be using on this map anyways. Next up, you could kind of just put footprints on both these doorways if you just don't want people going up here. It's mainly only helpful if you're fighting with a Dixie car and you don't want them to camp up top. Just getting rid of elevated areas as a whole is good. I typically, at the start of the rounds, just block off both the doorways. And then put my footprint up there, like I mentioned, and then I just go and kill people. Since they can't go into any elevation, they can't escape me. Simple as that. Some other good ones you might find is like getting rid of some of these looping spots, like especially this one over here. This is one of the best looping spots in the entire game. So maybe put one like right around here. Right in the corner. Just enough so they can't loop around this constantly, and they have to like go all the way around it, which gives you more time to catch up because they have to take a less ideal path. So yeah, that's it for glass houses. Let's move on to the next map. Alright, next up we have Horror Hotel. This one's an interesting one. Not really two ideal placements, but some of them are pretty good. The first one obviously is right here. This is a really annoying looping spot, and it's just people love to camp here for some reason. So you simply just blockade that area entirely. My favorite on this map, personally, which you'll see me use in the gameplay footage, is right here. You're probably looking at me like, what the hell is that supposed to do? Well, simple. They can't loop around the table. Simple as that. It's not as simple as that. There's really not else I can tell you. This move is literally designed to get rid of loops. All right. I don't know what else to say. Obviously, other good ones are just generally in doorways. Preferably this one right here is a good one. Like putting it like slightly to the right here. Like right around here. That way it still blocks the whole doorway. Because yes, the hitbox is wide enough. They can't, even if they hug the wall, just still hit them. The reason I do it there is because it's harder to see because of how dark this room is. All the other rooms are lit up, and it makes it kind of easier to see, but that room isn't, so I like putting it there specifically, especially if you're using a normal Dawn skin. If you're using Garsha Prune, you might as well give up on using Footprint, bro, because I gotta see it. Next up, we have Pirate Bay. This one's a little bit of an interesting one as well. Not too many really ideal places here because this map is really open. Obviously, this one's a good one because it gets rid of this looping spot here. Yes, like I said, multiple times, this move is not meant to be used all the time, but please, if you have it, just use it. You never know. It might save you some time. Other good spots, I'm just going to go run through this quickly. I'm just going to go run through them quickly. Another good spot might be just blocking off this area, since I guess it's kind of annoying. I don't know. Another good one is right here, so they can't go and loop this area. I recommend putting it like around the top, like right here. Okay, maybe not that high. Maybe down here, but yeah. Just get rid of looping spots. That's it. That's all you do with Footprint. Makes it so much easier to catch people. Another good one is here. Just put it like right around in the middle here. Like right about here. And boom, just like that, you single-handedly made this entire area off limits. Good job. Let's just move on to the next map. I'm getting tired of this. It's really hard to explain how to use this move. But please, that doesn't mean don't use it! Use it! Planet Voss. You know what you do on your Planet Voss? Wow! Wow! That's all you can do on Voss. Wow, what a great map. Am I right? Am I right? What a great map! What a... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I just hate this map. Let's get on to some serious topics here on how you can maybe make this map possible to put footprint on. I personally like to put them in the middle of these. Sure, it's completely avoidable, but some people might run into them stupidly. It's worked before. Who knows? There's really not much you can do on this map. Yeah, that's... I don't know what to tell you. This map sucks, okay? Moving on. Alright. Ultimate Assassin's Grounds. This one's an interesting one. Not a bad map for John, but not the best. Could be better. My first place is right here. Cuts off this area entirely. A good chunk of it. Makes them have to take the long way. Another good one, which is actually right here, is this area. Preferably, like, as stretched out as you can get it to cover the whole middle, like that. That way they can't loop around that. And of course, the last one, which I use, you can also blockade the house entirely if you want. You can blockade the fence over here if you want. But my last spot, right here. You wanna know why? So now they have to take the long way around this, and they have to go into the water usually. Either they have to go, they go like this. Oh, I gotta go back this way because they don't want to step in the water because that slows them down. And you wanna know what you can do? Run through it because it's your footprint. The only place it might be bad is if they're going this way, because then they'll just, you know, probably go this way. You know, again, footprint isn't a guaranteed hit. It's just meant to guarantee you a kill sometimes. That's it. Let's move on to the next map. Next up, we have John's best map, in quotes. And I do agree mostly, because this map is really good for putting footprints on. And it's also his spikes. I'll show you why. So me, most people put footprints on the ramps right here. Right here. But you want to know what I do? I don't do that. I do this. You're probably wondering, why do I do this? Because people are more likely to drop down if they see there's no footprint there, which they... If you're playing John Doe, they're gonna look for footprints, trust me. If you're playing John Doe and they look for footprints and they see there's no footprint there, they're not gonna take the long way. They're gonna try to drop down. And dropping down, not only can they not see it until they drop, but it also floods them right into it. And nobody seems to expect it. Other good spots are just any other drop or ramp, like at the top of these ramps, is probably better than the other ramps, to be honest. Because one thing is good different about these ramps, and that's the way spikes work on them. As you can see, I'm gonna use my spikes. As you can see, some of them went down. That is what I mean by this is Sean's best map. Because people can get completely caught off guard by your spikes because they can go underground when they shouldn't be able to. A good example of that is this. Excuse the lag. They would have went all the way if it wasn't for my lag. But you get the point. However, the best part about this map is most definitely the spikes in general. As you can see, I'm gonna put spikes around here, right? I'm gonna put them here. Say I try to snipe someone and I put spikes here, right? If we go down, let's wait for them to despawn, right? You can see them above me, right there. You see the particle effects. Say you're running from a John Doe, and they use spikes up there. You're running and you're running, right? You're running. Oh no, I've been blockaded by the spikes. You see where I'm going with this. And last but not least, we have York's Resting Place, which can be a good map or a bad map for John. Depends on what kind of player you are. For me, it's IE. The reason is because you can blockade literally every fast travel they have by just putting footprints on all the bridges. What does this cause them to do? Either A, backtrack towards you and make them easier to kill, or B, be stupid and run across the poison, which just makes them easier to kill. Anyways, yeah, that's basically it for this map. There's no other footprints, you just put them on the bridges. That's it. I mean, you can put one right here if you want. Preferably, like, right in between the things. Right in between the top and bottom here. That way it covers the whole thing. Boom. You've cut off basically every looping spot known to man. And yeah, that's about it for all the footprint placements I can mention. I hope you understood how to use this move. Don't worry, I'm not going to shout at you this time. Or am I? Yeah! So now that we're done talking about footprint, let's go over at 404 error. What did it do, you may ask? Reveals the survivors. That's it. No drawbacks. No nothing. Just reveals the survivors. That's it. And if you look, the cooldown on it is pretty good. As you can see, it's only 20 seconds. Just makes it pretty spammable. There's nothing else to say. This move is just your intel move. That's it. And if you get stunned somehow in the middle of it, you get unsolvable, but who the hell's gonna do that? And when is that gonna happen? So without any further ado, now that we've learned pretty much all you can learn about John, the best way to explain playing John is just to watch me play him, not just explain him. So let's get into the gameplay now, shall we?